Alrighty guys, Wesley K1 also wanted to see a video of the hay bind. This is an Oliver model 129. I really like this hay bind. I like it a lot. Does a good job cutting. It's very simple. About the only thing that's kind of goofy is its cable lift, but I haven't had a problem with it. Yeah, it's just got one cylinder on it. Push arm, and then it's got the floating cutter bar. You know, the whole thing's got the springs there, and it just kind of floats across the ground. I've retracted the cylinder just that the rod's not all out in the open when it sits during the winter, and it's got a cylinder stop right there. It's like a hitch pin you put in it. A swinging drawbar, obviously. All sorts of holes there for however, whatever tractor you got, you're pulling it, or however you want to do that. You can adjust how much the mower leans back like that. You can take this drawbar and move it up to the next set of holes, or flip it over if you want to do that to get it to tip back. I've got it tipped back quite a bit just because I don't like getting little stuff stuck on the sickle at chunks of grass or whatever. It doesn't pick stuff up quite as well, but if you run the reel a little faster, it'll pick stuff up. It's got car tires on it. It had these on it when I got it. Normally they had a little bigger, just an ag tire. There's one gearbox on the thing. Right there is just a generic right angle gearbox. Haven't had any trouble. I think it's been rebuilt once before I got it. I can't remember if the guy I bought it from bought it down in Southern Illinois, and that guy had it a long time. I don't think he was the original owner though. But anyway, it's got that gearbox and then just a drive shaft that runs across to the other side to drive everything. There's another, let's see, how is it? Okay, yeah, there's a pulley right up in there that runs a belt, and it runs a sickle drive, and then this is just for the reel and the rolls that runs over the other side to drive it. It's got this, you can just adjust how hard it kicks the windrow down here. I've never messed with that. It does alright for me. And you can also adjust how wide these things, the chute here kicks it out. Every now and then I just take these completely off and it'll throw it about as wide as the axles are then. But normally this is pretty sufficient here. This shield flips up too, but it's bolted. There's nothing written, no reason to really get under there. And then there's, let's see, how is that? There's a dual roller chain. Well, okay, yeah, one set of roller chains runs the one chain. Actually, I gotta think how that is under there. I'd open it up, but I gotta undo two nuts here to flip this shield up. I can't remember how that is, but there's three chains on there, and they both drive, three chains to drive the rolls, and that's because you got to run one direction, one the other direction. The thing I really like about this hay bind, it's got steel rolls in it. I think it does a good job crimping at those. And these are the original set of rolls in here. I mean, they just don't wear out. I mean, it will wear out, but it doesn't wear out like the rubber ones do. They don't crack or anything. They, you never have trouble sucking anything through. I've never plugged the thing. It'll eat any slug of hay that gets going through there. Over on the other side, you can adjust how fast the teeth come around and how much they stand up and whatnot. Some of these right here, that's bent because got a rock up in it one time, and it actually kicked the rock up and threw it out over the top of the reel instead of stopping the rolls or something, but that's how that got bent. I think it's happened a couple times because there's several bends there on the flat bar. 3-inch cut sickle. I can cut, depending on how it's standing, I can cut, sometimes first cutting I just don't go that fast, but I'd run about 3.5 to 5 mile an hour cutting. Unless it's laying down, I can always run 4 to 5, just depending. This hay bind, Oliver didn't build it. It was built by a company called Owatonna. And if you ever saw a piece of Owatonna equipment, you'd know it because they were painted like lime green and orange, just the ugliest colors you ever seen. Yeah, a real ugly combination. But if the rest of their equipment was built like this hay bind, they did a good job building it. And the funny thing about the Owatonna is I have an Owatonna parts book for this. It came with the baler, or not the baler, came with the hay bind, or mower conditioner, whatever you call it. But the funny thing about it is Owatonna got bought out by Gale, and I've heard Gale has discontinued a lot of their ag parts, and they're hard to get parts for on the older equipment. They don't offer a lot of support for them. But the thing about it is I got the Owatonna part numbers, and our AGCO dealer is also a Gale dealer, and I'll get them the part number, and they've never had any trouble getting any parts for this thing. And they're pretty reasonably priced too. Back in 2013 is my first year I bought this. We bought a sickle just to have as a spare. It was like $130 back then for the whole 9 foot and everything. And then in 16 I finally put that sickle in because the other one was just getting too worn out. And then I ordered another sickle for it to have it as a spare, and it was like $150, I think is what it was. And neither time they've had it in stock each time. Never had trouble getting it. There's 2 belts on the machine. There's one belt that drives the sickle, and there's one belt that drives the reel. They've had both those belts in stock. I've gotten reel teeth for it before. Had that or AGCO dealer didn't have it in stock, or the Gale dealer didn't. They didn't have it in stock, but they were able to order it from Gale. So the reel teeth belts and sickle. And I think I've checked I can get guards too. So really, the only thing else is, the cylinder. That's just a generic cylinder, generic gearbox on there. Or I just got standard bearings. There's these big springs here, which I don't know if you'd ever really have a problem with those. Haven't ever checked to see if they can get those, if those are available. Just got standard cable there, 3/8 cable for the lift. The U-joints and everything are just standard stuff in the drive shafts. The rolls might need to be, the steel rolls, you would never need to be replaced. Really, there's just not much to wear out, and what has worn out, and they've had in stock. One other thing. This is compatible. This would have been a Model 200. Would have been the Gale version of this hay bind or mower conditioner. They also had, it's a 9 foot cut. They also had a 7 foot cut, which was a Model 180, and then they had a Model 208, which was just like this hay bind, except it had rubber rolls in it. And there's actually a guy on YouTube, Elijah Rains. It's got Model 129 Oliver, but it's got rubber rolls in it. And if you had one of them, I don't know if they'd be able to still get a set of rolls or not for that. But it wouldn't be hard to make a set of steel rolls. Just need some flat bar and some pipe, and like I say, it wouldn't be hard to do. And if you had a rubber roll, you could probably about peel the rubber off of it and just weld the flat bar right onto that. But you can make footprints all over my equipment. But anyway, that's about it on the hay bine. I really like it. Like I say, the cable's about the only goofy thing on it, and I haven't had any trouble with it, and so I got no reason to complain about it. I'm about to do it here, so thanks Wesley K1 for requesting the video, and thanks everybody for watching.